I am Dr. Reggie K. Stein Holton, and we are on episode 3 of Awakening Souls podcast. We're going to be um, talking to Mr. Eric Snowden, an Army veteran, a Milwaukee native, um, and we're going to awaken his soul today. Big shout out first to Timmy Cobbs and Timmy Cobb Fitness for the flyers, and to Versatile Clothing for being a sponsor for this show. All right, so um, Eric, we like to start the show off by saying, tell me a little bit about you before you joined the Army.
Before I joined the Army, born and raised in Milwaukee, um, come from a good good family. My mom, my dad raised me right. Shout out to my mom's today, her birthday. Uh, Love you.
Happy birthday, moms.
Yeah, born and raised in Milwaukee, 53206, 12th Burleigh, North Meadows. Um, was able to just really learn a lot when I went into the military. But before the military, my family, my dad, he was a pastor.
Okay.
Um, my mom, we traveled. We lived in Kansas City, Missouri. We lived in Dallas, Texas, and we just got to experience a lot of different things before I went in the military, and I was grateful for the opportunity.
Okay. So, what high school did you go to?
I went to Washington High School.
Oh, so you're a purge holder.
I'm a
Okay.
park gardener all day long.
Uh, Play any sports while you were in high school?
Yeah, I played football my freshman and sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say a lot of people who play sports are great military people to go into the military. Do you think that made it easier for you?
Yeah, Washington had a good ROTC program, so I
Okay, so
joined the
you
ROTC program in my junior year. So once I joined the ROTC program, it was kind of embedded in me. And then, my uncle, he was in the military, so uh, I always looked up to him, and he inspired me. So
okay.
then I went into, the recruiters was in the high schools back in our days, so you know how
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah,
goes.
no doubt. Uh, so was it easy? So you saying basically it was easy for you to pick, I'm gonna join the army. Was that easy for you, or did you battle with like different services or anything like that?
Yeah, when I look back, if I could do it all over, I would go. I would have went into the Air Force. Air
Okay.
Force was where it was at. But my Army recruiter, the Army recruiters and the Marine recruiters, they put that pressure on you. So
Oh
I
yeah,
ended up, wanted to be the tough guy. So I said I didn't want to go in the Marines. I didn't want to do infantry. But I was like, I go into the Army.
okay. Okay. We got it. So moving forward, you joined the Marines. I mean, you joined the Army, and what did you do? Like, how we gonna talk about boot camp? How was boot camp for you in the Army in AIT?
So boot camp, I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Okay.
I said I wasn't going to no Leavenworth or nothing like that. I wanted to at least be around some females. I didn't want to be around
Okay.
all males. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. That's
But,
understandable.
yeah, I went to Fort Jackson, and when I first got there, a little bit out of shape, so I didn't graduate with my class.
Okay.
I had to stay back because I had to do. I couldn't pass the PT test when I first got down there, so I had to stay back for a week. Got in the lab, started working out. 1 week I was gone to Fort Lee, Virginia. After that,
Yeah. So you say that you had a problem passing the PT. Did you find that you were picked with? Because I know in the Marines when we we have people that were overweight or couldn't pass the physical requirements, they were like mentally stressed out, like because the drill instructors was like, did you have any of those problems?
Yeah, when you first get the basic, drill sergeants, they in your face. So, it's kind of hard because, like you say, they trying to indoctrinate you into a certain culture and to make you tough. And if you act like you weak, they gonna press you. And when I got there, I was a little bit out of my element because I was 18. I was fresh out of high school. I
Right.
graduated from Washington in '97,
Okay.
and that was June, and then I was gone in July. So I only had a
Okay.
month before I went into basic training.
Yeah, my experience, I graduated June 13th. I was on Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego on the 13th.
The
That
same
was
day.
3 days later, man. I was gone. I
Man.
I was out of there. So yeah, it's like yeah, like that in itself could be some trauma to you because people don't understand. Like I tell people in Marine Corps boot camp, the first word we said when got up was kill. The last word was kill. How was that indoctrinated in y'all head in Army?
Man, in the army, boot camp, you up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You go to the chow hall, you eat, you do PT, and it's just training all day long from there. You know what I'm
So
saying?
was it? So what I'm saying, like the words, I tell people the words that they indoctrinated in your head. Was it always about killing or being overly physical, or was it what was they saying you gonna be a lean, mean fighting machine? How was that? Like, cause just like I said, with us, it was always kill, ready, move, kill, ready, move, kill, kill. That's all it was. So as you listening to that, all you thinking is you starting to think
Mhm.
everything is killed or be killed. So how did that how did that work with you? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, just the commands, the road marches. I mean, the cadences. When you ran, everything was like it was a cadence. Army. Because I went to Fort Jackson. I don't know if it was as super hardcore as the infantry camps, but like for me, I mean, it was definitely an indoctrination. But like I say, I don't know if it was like kill kill, but it was just getting us, motivating us to, go to war and just do the things that we needed to do as a soldier, because it's all about soldier and it's all about completing a mission.
Okay. So after boot camp, of course, you go to AIT. What was your military occupational specialty? Like, what did you do in the military?
When I went in the military, I went in quartermaster, Fort Lee, Virginia, 92 Alpha, 92 Yankee, because when I got to my first duty station, they switched me to a 92 Yankee. So I was in supply. But
Okay.
when I was in AIT, I was quartermaster, which was warehouse.
Okay. So um at that time, I think Desert Storm, Desert Shield, was that going on around your time?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That
did
was
you
fun.
go over to Desert Storm, Desert Shield?
No, thank God. When I got to my first duty station in Fort Bliss, Texas,
Right.
um, my unit was already deployed. I was in an air defense artillery unit. So,
Okay.
like I say, they were already deployed. So when I got there, they put me on rear D. So I was just hanging around the barracks. The base was pretty empty because everybody was going off to war.
Okay. That's big. That's big. So fast forward, what are some like so you didn't go to Desert Storm, Desert Shield. So how long did you decide to enlist and were you in during OEF, OIF, the Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom? Were you in during those times?
I was in from '97 to 2002. So,
Okay.
like I say, went to Fort Jackson, then I went to Fort Lee. After Fort Lee, my first duty station was Fort Bliss, Texas, and in El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
Air Defense Artillery. I was a 92 Yankee. We went to the field, stuff like that. But other than that, when I was at Fort Bliss, I was just pretty much there, just doing trainings, getting prepared because we were over in Iraq. We was shooting down the air defense artillery from Iraq.
Okay.
Over Iran. So supply. Everybody loves supply, no matter where you at. So we was
Oh
just
yeah,
there.
y'all took care of us.
Yeah, exactly. So we was good, and then when I got to my first duty station, I got trained up to be the armor for my arms room for the
Okay,
uh, for the Bravo battery.
okay. So, quick question. I know with supply in a lot of those places, they became the transporters of a lot of bodies. Did you ever experience that? Like when people lost their lives, they were the ones who handled the shipment of the bodies back home to America. Were you part of that?
No, I didn't go. I didn't get deployed until I went to Germany. When I went to Germany, I was in Vilsek. I was in the headquarter
Okay.
battery, and we ended up going to Kosovo for the peacekeeping mission.
Oh,
So
the Kosovo.
yeah, we went over there for 8 months, and man, that country was bombed out. So it
Right.
was super crazy. Yeah.
So, what is the biggest challenge that you had once you now you go you in 97 to '02, you get home. What was then the challenges started? Can you explain that to me?
Um, when you're in the military, military life is different than civilian life. So the hardest part was adjusting to civilian life because, like you say, when you're in the military, you indoctrinated into military lifestyle. So um, we was Army Corps values, selfless service, taking initiative, doing all the little military things that they taught us to do. So when I was in the military, you know, everything was about complete the mission. And when I got out, civilian life, it was just different because, like I say, I had a military mindset when I came out the military. So everything that I everything that I seen in civilian world was through a military lens.
Right, right, right. So you get out, and what is the biggest challenge? Like you get out, were you married while you were in? I know you have kids now. What is the biggest challenge that with your adjustment? Because everybody adjusts differently. Like I tell people this, whether you go to war or not, you're still trained to kill. It's nothing that we people understand, because say you had stayed in and re-enlisted, you would have went to Iraq or Afghanistan. So you had to be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? So uh what is like your family, your kids, what are some things that you would like them to know about who you are? Because they we get misread a lot. Like my
Mhm.
biggest thing is I'm not a rah rah hi. I'm not that type of person. So when a person approaches me, hi, how you doing? I'm gonna be like, hello. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be at a certain tone.
Mhm.
What is that adjustment for you? Because it hurts a lot of things in our lives because we so embedded in those type of in those ways.
Yeah, when I was in the military, coming out of high school, I was in a relationship, and I had a kid, and it was rough. So like I say, when you go in the military and you ain't on the same page with your wife or the person you with when you go in there, it can cause a lot of stress. It can cause a lot of trauma. You know how it is.
Oh
Like
yeah, no,
military. Divorce rate is what, over 75% military.
oh no, yeah,
Because
no
you get
doubt.
deployed, you go to the field a lot, you do a lot of different things, and like you say, but then you still got to complete your job. You still got to complete the mission. So as a young 18, 19-year old, it can be traumatizing. And like I say, now I'm just now realizing, the different things that you go through, how it affect you in the long haul, from being in the military. So I'm still dealing with stuff like that, parent alienation syndrome from the kids, um, just looking back, reflecting on different things and how it affected me in different ways, talking to other veterans, and
Right.
like seeing that it's other veterans that went through the same thing that I went through. And a lot of veterans, the way we cope. Because when I got to my first duty station, I got with the OGs. The only thing they did was drink. You know what I'm saying? So that was the way we coped, or we self medicated to keep going on.
So did you find yourself having problems with alcoholism? Just being 100. On here it's we don't judge, man. We here to get it out and
Mhm.
get the message out about what people are dealing with as
Oh yeah,
veterans.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
So do you feel like that played a part in a lot of your problems in life? Like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It held me back, because when you get out, like I say, it was rough adjusting back to civilian life, and like you say, that's why amongst military members, the suicide rates is high, the divorce rates is high because
between
you
22 and 25 a day, military people are killing
oh yeah.
themselves.
You look at the homeless people on the streets. They most of them is veterans. We fight for our benefits. We can't get our benefits from the VA. So it's a lot, man. But the one thing that kept me anchored was my family. My mom. I got a praying mom. She prayed for me. I got my wife. I got my kids. But like I say, if I didn't have that, I got good friends. I got good support systems. If I
Right.
didn't have those, I could be like any other vet out here. On the streets, homeless, contemplating suicide, dealing with depression, dealing with PTSD. It's a lot. And I only did 5 years, so imagine the people who did 20. 25 years.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
We
a
got
lot.
to say that we got a big show coming up. I got a guy. His name is Dan Carbon.
Okay.
He did 20. He did in the Air Force, but when I tell you, man, his story will make you like, whoa, like, and that's the thing. Like, people always say PTSD is connected to combat. No, it's not. PTSD, whether you know it or not, it's people who have served in peacetime who have PTSD because
Mhm.
of some of the physical abuse that veterans go through. We don't want to talk about some of the mental abuse that veterans go through that a lot of people don't talk about, because I know in the Marines, from my instance, if you say, "Oh man, I'm hurting, I can't do this," you a shitbag, or you ain't nothing, or you a pussy, or things like that. And that's
Mhm.
why, like, that starts to sit in. And then when you get in civilian world and you translate that and you see people that's not doing their jobs, you start getting irritated by that, and
Yeah.
that triggers you in itself. Have you
Oh
ever
yeah.
had any experiences like that?
Man. Day one, soon as I got to when I got out the military, I kind of chilled a little bit. I had to deal with my ex, and then I moved in with my grandmother. So I had to rebound. It took me like 3 years to get back on my feet. Um, I got a job at Aurora doing security. Because people was like, "Oh, you mature. You're a good guy. You're a soldier." So, you know, usually they didn't bring people in my age. So I was like the youngest security guard ever hired when I was at Aurora. But my supervisor was like, "You super mature. So I'm gonna just bring you in. Blah blah blah." And then when I got to Aurora, yeah, in the military, we follow rules, we follow regulations, but when you get in the civilian world, the policies and procedures are real loose, and I had to find that out the hard way because I used to call people out, on the policies and procedures, and then when I used to call them out, I used to get in trouble. And I remember the first time I went to HR, my boss, HR supposed to be a neutral party. They talking about, well, the policies and procedures is up, up into the interpretation of your boss or your supervisor. So as soon as I get back to my department, my boss, he put me in office. He's like, HR just called me and told me you went to HR on me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I said, yeah,
Wow.
I went to HR on you because you ain't following the policies and procedures. And we had a little spat, but it's like when you come from the military, like if you don't follow the rules and the regulations, then you get held accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
the civilian world, they don't do that. So it took a huge adjustment when I came out. Because I used to say something. I wasn't one of the ones who was just quiet.
Oh yeah, and that be the problem, man. When you start seeing the different the difference as I call it, we have our own little world, you know, our base, we have our own store, we have our housing, we have our own community, even if it's in like Fort Bragg, you know, they had their own thing. Camp
Mm-hmm.
Lejeune had they on the new we had the, you know, New River Air Station. It was in Jacksonville, North Carolina, big military town. So it was all military. We ran the town. So everything was ran on that tight structure. And then you come home back to civilian life and everybody like chill. You coming to work 15 minutes early, they coming to work 20 minutes late, and they ain't saying nothing to them, and they getting
Mm-hmm.
promoted and you not. You know what I'm saying? You like, what's going on here, man? That be the thing, man. Like I really feel like we struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? We struggle with those things. And you know, what is it that family wise, like with your kids, what adjustments does it take? Because you're strict. We come out, we like, this is what it is, and if it ain't gonna be that, you know, we gotta find our softer side again. Did you struggle with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, parenting.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
get
you have a military. I mean, military is about structure. You know, you want to have structure. You know, I grew up in a house with structure, so it wasn't no problem for me. But like you say, when I was young, I was rebellious. I rebelled against that structure. But like I say, when I got out the military, I seen how important that structure was. You know, and then when I seen how important that structure was, I wanted to follow that, and I wanted to do that with my kids. But at the time, you know, their moms, she didn't want to do that. You know, so it caused a lot of conflict.
yeah. So I mean, like I said, moving forward, like, what is your hopes and what is your goals? Like, because again, like I said, I know it's hard to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard to talk about
Mm.
them. Do you have any of like the nightmares, the sweats, the chills, the moments where you just want to be left alone, where your people, like, people don't understand that. And we, part of the show is trying to get people to more understand that part. Do you know of any friends that you still communicate with that have those problems and issues that you try to help them talk through?
Man, all my military buddies, man, battle buddies, it's pretty much the same. I can call up any one of them now, and we talk. We can relate because we've been through the same struggles, you know. So it's a lot of us who we only vent and we only talk to each other, you know, about certain things. You know,
Right.
my closest friends is some of my military guys. You know, we have a group chat. We talk and we hold each other accountable because, like you say, we hold each other to a different standard, you know, and we understand each other. And I don't know, man. That's the one thing that I learned about the military is camaraderie. And when I came out, I struggled with that because, like you say, military dudes they loyal, and when you come home, you meet a lot of people, you friend a lot of people, and the same energy you give them, they don't give it to you back. So then you have a lot of conflict, you know, because like me, people know I'm a ride or die, you know, I'm a be here for you, and at the same time, people ain't gonna be there for you, and the military, we in the field, we training, you know, we battle buddies, you know, and it's like you have that camaraderie, and you always gonna have each other back. That's why when I talk to military cats, you know, I can always get along with them because they got the same mentality as myself, you know, and it don't even matter what
Right.
branch they from, you know. We've been through the same struggle, and it's like civilians they don't really have that same camaraderie and stuff like that. So most of your friends, I mean, I got friends, homeboys. That I went to school with, you know, we all good, but it's like my military guys, you know, it's just you ain't even got to say nothing. It's just you just got the same mentality. They already know where you coming from.
Right. So, can you give me an example of like a moment since you've been out? I mean, you've been out over, like me, I've been out. It'll be in June, it'll be 23 years. June 25th will be 23 years.
Hmm.
So we're right around the same time. So give me an example of something that happened when you was out and it triggered you, and what happened and how that was that situation handled.
Um, let me see. Let me make sure I get the PG versions.
I mean, here we keep it real, man. We ain't
I
gotta be,
know, I know, I do, I
you
know.
know, yeah, we keep it real.
But I don't know, man. It's just like military dudes, we loyal, you know. So I really don't, I don't really vibe with fake cats. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me, my family, my friends, they know what you see is what you get. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That's just, you know, I'ma always be me. You know, I
right.
don't never be on no fake stuff, man. And it's just like when you come home, you just see a lot of fake stuff. So like lot of times you just gotta call people out, you know, because like I say, I'm gonna be there for you. That's just me. I'm gonna ride with you. I'm gonna die with you. And like I say, situations. If some friends had situations, I'm there for them, you know. But then when you get here, they don't have that same energy for you, you know. And then you know how the loyalty thing go in on the
Oh, yeah, no
military
doubt.
shit. Like man, I remember if you was in AIT and you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you was gonna catch that blanket party. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, and boot camp for us, hey,
yep.
because we all got what they call smoke. We'll be out there doing push-ups and mountain climbing,
Hmm.
jumping jacks
Hmm.
in the sand, and 99-degree weather. You out there with full BD, at y'all say BDUs on, and
Hmm.
and so I mean, so you had an experience with somebody not being loyal. How did you react? Like, did you like rage out? Was it like you just shut down? Was it did it get we can, like I said, we can be real on here. Did it get violent? What did happen that you found like when once it was over, you was like, maybe I took things too far?
I had a recent incident. You know, I mean, my pops just passed away in 2021, so you know,
Okay.
kind of was going through some stuff. You know, my dad was like my hero, this and that. You know, and so you know, we have me and my friends. They probably on here. We have a couple of group chats. You know, I'm a boisterous dude. You know, so I say different things. You know, and one of the dudes, you know, he just kind of got out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I kind of lost it. You know, and just you know, the chat went crazy. The chat went silent, and the chat ain't never came back up. You know, what I'm saying?
So he was like, you crashed out on the chat. And
Yeah.
he probably, and that's the thing. Like people don't understand that with us. Like I tell people this all the time. To have a veteran in your life and say they got your back, they got your back.
Mhm.
Once you cross that threshold, it's really no coming back. They might let you in a circle, but they really watching you covering a six with you at all times because they don't
Mhm.
know what you're gonna do. And like even like you a married man, so when it comes to your lady, does she understand like you very over? It's not that you want to be controlling, but you're overprotective. Does she understand that part of you?
Initially, she didn't. I mean, I think she get it now. Respect. I mean, I gotta say, man, I'm blessed, man.
Okay,
God bless me with a wonderful wife. I
okay,
mean, the stuff that she's endured with me, man, bless her, man, bless her. I remember when I met her and I took her around my grandmother. She told me, she said, "You better not mess this up." She
right,
told me, you know, and I was just like, okay, but yeah, my wife, she understand. She understand, and you know, I tell her stuff. But you know, most of us military guys, we hold a lot of stuff in, you know, and we
right.
don't really let a lot of stuff out. But fortunately, you know, I've been with my wife over 20 years, so
Okay,
she kind of
okay,
understand, and she there for me. She keep me calm. But like you say, you need that common force. You got to have something that's just going help you, you know, in those certain situations. And like I say, God, praying, read my word, you know, but like you say, you have your good days, you have your bad days, you know, but
right.
you just, like us, we just keep pushing, man. We really don't cry over spilled milk. We just keep on going, you know what I'm saying? We soldiers. That's how they train us to be.
Yeah. So what is it that you would say moving forward to other veterans that you know, like the struggles, the VA. Now that's what I want to ask you. What is your struggle with the VA? Because this is something on this platform I wanted to really get out there. What is the biggest struggles that you find with the VA?
They disrespect veterans, man. Like you say, I mean, they give us the services that we need, but like you shouldn't have to fight for your benefits. Here I'm out of the military over 25 years, and I'm at 10%. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all my military guys, we at 10, 20, 30, 40. I got a couple of guys who had 100, you know.
Right.
But when you meet somebody at 100 and they tell you what they had to do to get that 100, you know, it's like, why did you even have to do that? You know, because I got family members, cousins, man, who just went through it, you know, and still had to fight. Marines, you know, serious injuries, and they still won't give them 100%.
And my guy Timmy he says that they make us go bald head on the first day. Of course, man, we had to cut off all facial hair and hair. And we was looking like excuse me, I don't want to offend nobody, but we was looking like the kids what's the Holocaust kids, man. They spent us dry, man. We was out there, but
Hey, I'm blind, so I had to get the birth control glasses to go along with it. So I had the messed up haircut with the birth control.
So as I was telling, as you were saying, man, uh I'm one of the fortunate ones. I don't know if it was because when I was going through my uh evaluation for my for my benefits, I got it the first time. But I was like, I called them every day. You know, I called 1-800-827-1000. I irritated them people. They probably was like, if we don't get this man what he do, we gonna have a problem. So we gonna give him what he do. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I called him every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Even when they told me I had got my rate, and I called them every day, Monday through Friday. At the time, they didn't have direct deposit when I got mine, so it was like when my check didn't come in the mail, I called them. It was bad for me, man, because I had just had my first kid. I was having kids left and right. I had like 3 kids. I'm calling, but I wouldn't have never knew. Just like I said, I rated benefits until I met a guy by the name of Jerry Berry. But once I realized, like veterans like you, and I told you before, I'm gonna help you, man. I got a friend, Tyson Randolph, right now, man. He got 10%, and then from 10%, I helped Tyson get all the way up to 100. It's just certain things that the VA looks for. They won't tell you that, but through just being around and speaking with vets and being around the OGs who help people get 100% and get a high rating, I know how to do that. See, one of the things that, and that's why I'm saying having this show, one of the things that we have to understand moving forward is that, like I'm trying to talk to you now, you have to be forthcoming with everything, whether we like it or not, because us telling bits and pieces, it doesn't help us. When it comes to them, you gotta tell them detail by detail what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this show like was created. Like we gotta bridge the gap because we know that we're very private and personable people. You know what I'm saying? But we also know that because we're very private and personable, that we struggle with telling what's happening with us. We feel like we shouldn't have to say in order to get what we think we're due, but we do have to say. So I want to keep that in mind for you moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Even with your family, because your family are some of the biggest advocates. Them saying, hey, he was this dude when he left. When he came back, I was looking at him like, man, what's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? And that right there will take you from 10 to 80, 90, 100. You don't know that, but that's what it is. And moving forward, I want to be one of your advocates for you to get the benefits that is not only due to you, but to your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you struggling, like we are struggling. like my biggest thing, I work a job, you know what I'm saying? But the job is irritating as hell to me because of
Mhm.
the the not the structure is so bad. And then you try to fix the structure and you find yourself on the outside looking in. You get what I'm saying? You find
Mhm.
yourself like, man, I don't want to be here, or I'm just quit. And if you can't quit, you stay. So you suck it up because you got a family to take care of. And this is why a lot of veterans are killing themselves though, because they're not getting the benefits that they are due. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So um I want to encourage you moving forward to when you talk to them people, be forthcoming. You know what I'm saying? If you have nightmares, hey man, I have nightmares. I get up in cold sweats. You gotta be 100 with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because if you just say, "Oh yeah, man, I got a little shit of PTSD," and they say, "Well, what you go through?" and you be like, "Man, I got PTSD. I can't sleep." They gonna look at you like he just wants some money. Give him 10%. It ain't
Mhm.
about the money. It's about the principle. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you want to be able to get the services that's deemed to you. Somebody asked, she said, would you do the military over again, or would you have just wanted to do a 4-year college like a lot of others?
I don't know. In '97, like you say, a lot of the programs that they got now for the youth, we didn't have that, you know. So, I mean, when I went to Washington, the recruiters was in the lunchroom during the lunch periods. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they was recruiting us hard. You know, when I got out the military, I was surprised at all the friends and family that went into the military because, you know, if you didn't have scholarships, grants, that kind of stuff, you know, college is expensive. You know, so I used my VA bill when I got out to get my license, my degree in real estate. But like you say, that was going in doing my time and then getting out and then using those GI benefits.
Right. So, because I know, and this is big, like 10%, you don't get the afforded the medical opportunities like a person
Hmm.
with 100%. Like, so, um, do you use the VA a lot for a lot of things, or have you been ever turned away from some things because of your rating?
No, I've been using the VA more now because my friend, my homeboy from the military, he put me on the Veterans Guardian, and then I used them, and then I got 10%. But like I say, now I'm just moving forward. Sure, I just got diagnosed with sleep insomnia and sleep apnea.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I did the sleep study, and they found out I had severe sleep apnea. So, like
yeah.
you
You,
say, a lot of stuff that you don't know when you going through the process, but you finding out different things later on in life. You know.
yeah. I was telling somebody like I got the knees of a 70-year-old man at 40 something. Like they was like, what? I was like, man, yeah, it's real. When you carrying 100-pound packs on your back up hills and mountains and sand moles and stuff like that, and you figure like this dude, man, he why you walking like that? He walk like he an old man. It's real, you know.
Yeah.
I
I
won't
think.
let them. I won't let them operate. Like as far as knees and hips, I ain't. No, you can't operate on me, bro. I just deal with it. Like I don't. That's no, bro.
Yeah.
Like I call the VA. Honestly, I call the VA like I call them one of the biggest. Uh, I call them the death dealers, man. I'm gonna be 100. Like you probably go to the VA and won't come back out.
Yeah. Like I said, I think you got to take care of your health now. I mean, when I got out, man, I was very prideful. I was like, I'm healthy. I got strength. I can work. You know, God fearing. So it's just like I really didn't even go after benefits. I used to go down there for benefits, man, and like you say, it's appointment after appointment after appointment, and I really didn't have the patience to do all that.
Right,
So
right.
you know,
And that's how they wear a lot of us down, man. They they make us want for too much. You know what I'm saying? They
mhm.
make us work for too much. They uh how bad was the first mask to the face? That's what he said. How bad was the first mask over your face like during COVID? How bad was that for you?
Oh man, I got a COVID question. I'm gonna get in trouble.
No, go
Man,
ahead. How was it? I mean,
man, I refuse to wear a mask, man. I hate masks. I cannot wear a mask, man. It's like I can't breathe with the mask. I already got sinusitis, so I refuse to do masks. And after I learned all the jabs they gave us in the military before I got deployed, I think I took about what 10 jabs to deploy to Kosovo.
Oh
Man, you
yeah,
know how it is before you deploy. You gotta
oh yeah. You
do all
get
that, get all
you
them
get needles.
shots and stuff.
You get needles everywhere, man. You
Yeah,
get you get needles everywhere. I had needles everywhere, man. I
no,
tell people that all the time. Like, man,
I
I get
don't.
needles
I
everywhere.
don't like. I don't like needles, and I don't do none of them jabs, or I don't wear masks. So I can't breathe with masks on my face. Wearing a mask in the gas chamber was enough for me.
Okay, okay. So y'all did do the gas chamber.
Hmm.
Um, so what is it that again? So moving forward, you you what are your goals moving forward? Like as far as getting benefits, advocacy for veterans, uh, employment if that's what you looking or seeking. What are some of the things that you feel like um, you you want to accomplish moving forward?
And as a veteran now, man, I'm looking at the entrepreneurship. Man, the veterans they got a lot of programs for entrepreneurship. So that's the lane I'm trying to steer into. Trying to work for myself. Like you say, it's hard working in the civilian world. So I want to control my own destiny. I want to work for myself and do for myself. So I'm trying to get in that lane and just use all the benefits that they're gonna give me. And I'm gonna keep fighting. I got family members, friends encouraging me keep fighting. Because like you say, it might be 10 years down the line, but keep fighting. I wish I would have did that when I first got out, but like I
Mm,
say, I didn't have the patience. I didn't want to go to all the appointments. I had to work. I had to take care of family, kids. So I had to do what
right,
I had to do.
right. So Matt just said, "Hey, this something funny." He said, "I wore a mask in the shitter at AIT because it stunk so bad." Yeah, fellow army dude. So y'all, he said,
Man, I'm gonna tell you a story, man. I'm gonna tell you one of the realest stories that ever happened to me in the military. So I had a first sergeant, right? So we in the
yeah,
field. So we go in the latrine. No stars, no walls. Everybody taking a dump right next to each other.
right,
So one of the toilets is clogged up, right?
yeah,
First sergeant come in there, he come in there to shave and everything. He go over there to use the bathroom. He like, why this toilet clogged up? I said, I don't know. He said somebody, they did their thing in there and it's clogged up. So he said, man, look, let me show y'all young soldier something. So he called us all over there. He rolled up his sleeves. He put his hand in the toilet.
what?
Yep, unclogged it. Goes over to the sink, washes his hands off. And he was like, "That's the problem with y'all young privates. Y'all afraid to get y'all hands dirty."
What? Oh no,
Yeah,
I ain't.
man. Realest first sergeant ever, man. This dude would be out there digging foxholes with us. I mean, anything he told you to do,
Wait,
he would do it. He would do it with you, man. And that's where I learned how to lead by example. Don't
yeah,
tell
I mean,
nobody to do something that you ain't gonna do.
yeah, that's big though. That's big. That's real big, man. But I don't know about that, man. I ain't never been made that.
Man, I'm telling you, when I tell
I'm
people
so
that story, when I tell people that story, they go crazy, man. But it's real. You know
it's
how the old
real.
school. You know how the old
Oh
school
yeah, old school.
military.
I
Yep.
tell people when I was in and you was in, we earned our cameras with stay flow. And in the
Mm-hmm.
Marines, we used to with so much stay flow and starch on our camis, and we used to wet them so wet that we had to hang dry 'em and then iron them. And then the killing part is when you iron them, the white residue be on your marine on your camis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People was like, man, why your but you had them creases be just as sharp and your cover be just as what I'm saying, it'd be just right. But like I said, I don't really, you know, like I said with me. my thing in this show and the purpose of this show is to talk to veterans like you and try to get a better insight and let the world get a better insight with the struggles that we have getting benefits, getting treatment. The sleep apnea comes, the cancers come because we're exposed to so many things, and the PTSD and the schizophrenia and the rage outs. Like I don't call them crash, I call them rage outs, man. I say that we rage out, man. If we rage out, it's pretty much a wrap. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
don't crash out, we rage out. And that's the thing. Like people will better learn how to deal with us once they understand who we are and that we are different. And it's all right to be different, but we're
Hmm.
different for a reason. And I just want to encourage you, brother. Like, man, and I'm here, man. I'm here as a resource. You know, we lock in with Orlando on the show every other night when he get on. We be on at 12, 11 o'clock at night. But we are some of the most loyal people. We are some of the most
Hmm.
uh, misunderstood with our loyalty. We are some of the most reasonable people. Like we see the good in everybody because we've done so much wrong, even though we believe we did it for the right reasons.
Hmm.
And yeah, man. So I wanna encourage you, man, that we are together in this. We are together in this fight. If you know a vet, a friend, folk who willing to share their story to get the to help get the message out there. This is what this show is about, man. And hopefully, in a year from now, if this show goes the way I want it to go, we can. And I want you to be part of this too, because we communicate on a lot of levels. We can
Hmm.
start reaching out and helping veterans in a financial way, or giving them food if they don't have no food, bringing homeless veterans into hotels and giving them a hot shower and a hot meal, and just talking with them. That's my goal of this show. Is more about building camaraderie with fellow veterans and helping fellow veterans out and pointing them in the right direction of resources that they don't know that we have. And um, I'm gonna help you with your struggle, man. I want to be able to say in the next year that your rating has went up and you getting the medical attention you need at the VA without having to have all that extra stuff that they make you go through and pay for. Um,
No,
and that's big for me.
it's gonna
So
happen. It's gonna happen. Like I say, I just took my time on doing it. But like you say, when I heard you and I heard your testimony, like I say, I got brothers, cousins, everybody, man. We all fighting. And like you say,
yeah,
is to get this message out, man, because a lot of people don't understand this. And like you say, it's a sacrifice when you go and you serve your country, and then when
right.
you come back, I mean, I got family members, friends, close family members and friends, man, going through the struggle. PSD, SD,
PTSD. Yeah.
PTSD, some everything, So I get
Mhm.
it, man. And like I say, love this show. That's why I say want to get it going so people can see, understand the struggle. Because I got people who ducked off who don't even want to share their stories, because they just, they loners. They by themselves. So we got to get the story out there.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. I once again I thank you. I thank you for being officially the first story so outside of mine, the first vet that came on and shared their story. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your support. And like I said, man, moving forward, man, you need anything from me, you know how to get in contact with me. Um, we gonna do this, man. Even if honorary, man, if I can't get on one night and interview a veteran, man, I would like if you could sometime help me out. The more the merrier. I don't want people to just hear my voice. I wanted to hear other veterans' voices and they can better relate to. Some people can't relate to me. Some people can relate to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's big. As being that community to help shift the outcome of things with veterans, man. And I really appreciate you again.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
So Eric Snowden, your soul has been waking awakened. I appreciate you for joining my podcast. Much love and respect. It is to all the people. This will be up on YouTube. It is going to be a show that's uploaded to YouTube. You can go back and watch it. You can go back and share it with people. I would like for you guys to do that. If you see a vet, help a vet. If you see a vet struggling, help a vet because they'll help you, whether you believe it or not. And when you find a vet and help a vet friend, you'll have a friend for life. So I want you guys to I want to encourage you guys to do that. Is anything you want to share, Eric, moving forward? What you got going on?
Not much, man. Just appreciate you having me on. Like I say, appreciate the family and friends who got on. And like I say, just trying to get the awareness out there, man. I mean, police officers, firefighters, anybody who in the service department, man, they go through a lot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, I mean, just getting that awareness out there and letting people know we got outlets. Because, like I say, for a long time, man, I wasn't in a place where I wanted to share my story or do that, and this was just a little tidbit. So, I just want to encourage all the veterans, be strong, stay prayed up, and use these resources that you have to get help, because there's too many of us killing ourselves and doing things because we don't got the proper resources to vent out and talk to people.
Uh, uh, so I'm gonna open it up for 5 minutes to see if everybody got questions. Anybody got questions? Anybody got questions? Feel free to ask for Eric. Uh, um, if we got any questions, we'll put them up on the screen. Um, like I said, this is big. I mean, we sit out. Y'all got any questions? Any questions for y'all families? Anything that y'all might see with a family member who a vet that you might want to ask me? I might not be able to answer. Eric could probably answer that for you. Feel free to do that on all platforms. Drop your questions. Damnell, I think that's his name. Let me see if we can get him to show his question. It's he says, "Do you wish you would have stayed in the military?"
Um, nah, not really. I wanted to get out. I wanted to get out. It was too much, man. Like I say, get back home. I was one of the major things. I was homesick. The male one of my homeboys, man. And we went to high school together, and no, it was just too much, man. And I wanted to get home because, like, at a young age, man, I didn't even know, man. I'm just now processing all the stuff that you go through in the military, so it's crazy.
So,
And
uh, me, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to stay in, bro. When they made this chart, bro, I think I was more angry about that than anything. Like, bro, I didn't want to be here. Like, I was already a loner in high school. Like, I'm keeping it one. I was a loner, man. Like, I played sports. I was good at sports, but I didn't fit in. I knew I didn't fit in, bro. I didn't. I wasn't the same as everybody else. You get what I'm saying?
mhm.
But when I was there, bro, I was really, really, you know what I'm saying? Really like, man, this is my family, bro. Like this was my family for real. Sante says, uh, she says, thank you, Eric, for your sacrifices and your yes to serve our country. Hope you get what is owed to you. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, man, it's a lot. Like you say, everybody got family members who vets who not getting the benefits and the things that they need. So when you out there and you see them vets on the media asking for money, 9 times out of 10, that's a vet. When I worked in the hospitals, most of the homeless people I dealt with, they was all vets. So it's a lot of vets going through a lot of PTSD and mental health issues. So
Yeah, I tell people the biggest thing with a vet, man, is the feeling to they have of not fitting in. We don't fit in, bro. It's nothing. It's nothing that people can say to us, bro, we be like you ever been in a crowded situation like where you be around a lot of your family members and you just find yourself sitting in the corner watching everybody and everybody laughing and joking and you be like,
Yeah, sometimes, but I mean, I guess everybody deal with PTSD in a different way.
yeah,
Me, I just dealt with it like I would just drink. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, I wasn't like a loner. I could be like a life of the party type dude, but
uh,
like you say, I just had to self medicate. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting past now. But like you say, I do know vets who like they wouldn't go around people. You know, they'll just be off to themselves, and you got to go check on them to make sure they're good. You know, because you don't know what they're gonna do. But me, I had good friends, family members around me, so I just, you know, I could. When I got back to Milwaukee, it was comfortable because this is where I grew up. But at the same time, you had those inner struggles. But I've never been a person who was just like a loner, just like didn't want to be around people. That wasn't in my personality. I actually like being around people, but like you say, maybe the self medication helped me be around people.
right,
So
yeah. I mean, I did. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I self medicated with a lot of garbage. Like I used to gamble, like bro. It was the excitement. It was the thrill. It wasn't
mhm,
a win. I gambled literally because of the thrill. Like I tell people that, like man, I used to just gamble because it's the when you got PTSD, they say you go through manic states and it be the highs, and then
mhm,
once like I can still like I went through a period, bro. I'm gonna share this with you. Like since I've been out, I was up like 14 days straight. No
yeah,
eating, no sleep, like locked myself in the basement, covered up all the windows, shut my door, wouldn't go nowhere, didn't answer the phone for nobody, was not sleeping, not eating, bro. And people was like, how did you survive that? And I'm like, bro, I mean, it was just like I was in the field. I was at war, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
I didn't like the MREs. You like MREs? I didn't like that.
I love the chicken and rice. I could hook a chicken and rice.
No, the favorite one was the chili mac, bro. That was the peanut butter cookie crackers.
Man,
I trade all my other stuff for the chili mac and the peanut butter cracker. That was it. I wasn't eating nothing else. That's why if I ever get people be like, man, if you get locked up, man, you gonna eat it. I can go 10, 15 days without just water. Just give me some water. I'll be good. I might be throwing up everywhere, but hey, I'm good. I don't need none of that. No way. But yeah, bro. Again, thanks, man. I guess nobody else has any questions. Uh, again, if you know a vet, have them reach out to me, inbox me. Uh, he said, the real, is it Damnil? Was his name? He said, never been in the military, but do you feel like you were used? I asked because it seemed like you're having trouble getting benefits. You are. He said, do you feel like have been used?
yeah. Sometimes you do. Yeah, sometimes you do. Because, like you say, making that sacrifice to serve your country, you would think that veterans would get treated better, But like I say, veterans get treated like trash. And like I say, I worked in the hospital. I sat on suicidal standbys. A lot of veterans in the psych ward, stuff like that. But like you say, man, your testimony powerful, and they ain't even heard that, man. Like you say, you got to see people get killed, and then you got to
Oh,
come back, and you got to adjust to regular civilian life, and you got all that trauma, and you seeing battle buddies getting killed, man. Come on,
well, listen, man, I'm gonna share something with you. I got home and it was a club, where the welfare building is off Elite. They used to have a club down there.
man.
Me and my cousins, we in the club. We come out the club, they shooting. I'm standing in the middle of the street laughing, like, ha, 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 bro. Like, what? They looking at me like, get down, get down. I'm like, you can't shoot. Like, what's going on? And they looking at me like, bro, you crazy? I'm like, hey, he can't shoot. Like, he not gonna shoot me. You feel invisible to that point when you done been in situations like that. You done made it on. You feel invisible. Like, man, I'm invisible. Like, but it's just even that. Like, man, I go through times, bro. I'll be looking out my windows and like looking around, and I gotta stay moving. I can't be in one space too long. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and I have a lot of like people don't understand like medically you deal with it might not show when I guess it's the adrenaline of being out the service. It doesn't show, but then when you get out the service and you've been out for a while, you get the knees, you get the headaches, you get the sleep apnea, you get the rage out, you get the cold, like you get a lot of stuff that you didn't know that you had. um and it's hard, bro. Like that loyalty piece though, that right there is what makes or break relationships with military. That's the number one. I guarantee you, if we can interview any of those 22, 23 people that might have took their lives today, they'll tell you that they felt betrayed. They felt betrayed. They felt dishonored. They felt disloyal. That the military had been disloyal to them and lied to them. Like Damnell said, man, we feel like a lot of times, a lot of the things we did, we were lied to. We do feel like that. We feel like we did it to protect our country, but we later found out that some of the stuff we was lied about too, and that's not fair to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people like it was hard for me too. Like Eric, if you would have been a grunt, it'd have been hard for you, bro, because you're a Christian. You grew up in it. I grew up Kojic. I was always in and out of church when I was a kid. Every Sunday, YPWW meetings, I was in that. So God preached the peace and all that. Then you go become a salt stone killer, man. You be like,
That's why I
my
didn't go in the infantry.
yeah, bro, that's real, man. Like
I
they
wasn't
they
doing no
feel it.
infantry, man. I could have did infantry, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. I don't think you because they'd have found a way to ship you off to Desert Storm, Desert Shield as you picked up a gun.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It was the grace of God I didn't get deployed to Iraq, and I missed two times, but I caught it the third time. But yeah, two times I should have been over Iraq.
Yeah, and that's big. That's big in itself. Uh, Anybody else have any questions? We got about we're gonna try to give you guys this last 5 minutes and 4 minutes and 45 seconds just to see if people have questions. If anybody have any suggestions, anybody that they feel like I should reach out. Um, she said, Sante asked a question. Let me pull it up for you. She said, okay. She said, can you describe the expectation you had when you return home? The expectations you had when you return home. What would that have looked like for you? Like when you got out, what did you expect when you got out?
Man, I didn't know what to expect. 'Cause like you say, everybody. It depends on your personal situation. When I came home, it was different because I was going through a relationship problem, and I had kids, and it was just a lot of chaos. So, like I say, when I came back home, I moved in with my grandmother, and I really didn't want to do nothing. I kind of just shut down, and then I just self medicated for like. I said I'm gonna take a break because I was just decompressing from the military, and I had a lot of stress. So, man, I would sit on the porch on 12th and go to the liquor store, give me something to drink, and I would just chill, and do it like that. And then September 11th happened, and then after September 11th, you know, I should have got a job before then, but it took me. I didn't get a job until like February, March.
Okay,
After that, but my expectations wasn't high when I came home, because I just knew all the things that I had to face when I got back. So I wasn't too excited.
okay. So I think I did have an expectation. I had an expectation of coming home and being able to get employment quicker than I had got employment, being able for it to open up a lot of doors for me that
Hmm.
to this day I found out that are not open to us. They got this big campaign, hire a vet, hire a vet. that VA ain't even hiring vets like that. So I don't even know how they can push that campaign, hire a vet, and they ain't hiring vets, you know. So yeah, my expectations is different. Like I
Yeah.
expect to come home and like be honored. Like, bro, I just put my life on the line for y'all, treated with respect, and you get treated like straight shit. You just another person.
Hmm. No, yeah, I agree, man. They had all them vet hiring campaigns, and you got home, you would apply for those vet jobs and crickets. You wouldn't hear nothing, man. So, like you say, it was just like a facade. So, you felt kind of left down because, like you say, when I got home, I thought jobs would be hiring me. I put veteran on my resume. I went to the little vet center. They hooked my resume up and got me all good and posted it online and nothing.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things with veterans is employment, man.
Hmm.
And that's bad. Veterans, it's hard, you know. And then when they like a lot, if you really look at a lot of the more successful veterans, they're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're people who have got out the military, used their skills to learn and build companies. You know what I'm saying? They not really, you know, unless they in the federal government at a certain level and they government contracted, yeah. But even then, it's hard now to get government contract jobs, especially. And I'm gonna use this notion for Black veterans. Black veterans are low, looked at as low tier. You know, we are not the same. We are not treated the same. I'm keeping it 100.
But look at this. It took me 20 years now to figure out that I need to be an entrepreneur because most veterans, if they had an entrepreneur program, the drive that we have, because we learn how to take initiative, we learn how to do this, we learn how to do that. We don't fit good inside the corporate structure. So if they had an entrepreneur program for vets when they came out, most vets would take that and run with it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how we built. That's how we train. But when I got out, oh, you military, security, you know,
Oh yeah,
you,
yeah. That
you security, police officer, them type of jobs. But like,
I didn't want to go back to the violence, man. Them violent jobs, man.
mhm. No, I didn't want to do that either. But that's what they told you when you went to the vet center. Sure, I could have applied to be a police officer right out of the military and probably would have got in ASAP.
Bro, I went on a ride alone with the LAPD, bro. To be a, I mean, I can't. I said, man, I'm not cop. No, because I keep telling people like, and this is why I struggle even with understanding police officers now. Is when I was at war, you can be running up on me with a bomb, and I had to say halt, stop, stand to be recognized, get down, say all this stuff
Mhm.
before I shoot. Then it became shoot to kill. But this person got a bomb. We'll be blew up by the time I said all that. Like, and you mean to tell me you a cop and you can't control your anxiety? You know what I'm saying? Like that was big with me. Like, man, that's why I kind of like.
Yeah.
That's why I really, honestly, a lot of people be asking me like, why I don't drive. That's honestly why I don't drive because I'm scared of the reaction of me to what they might do.
You
That's a
don't
fear.
drive? You say you don't drive?
I drive, but then I don't like to drive
Oh,
because if I get pulled over, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been lucky. I'm gonna tell you this. I've been lucky to be pulled over by a lot of people who are not um who are respect the military. A lot of cops that respect the military. So that veteran on my ID, it takes me a long way when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that though.
yeah.
I can't say that.
And
But
dude,
I've
that's why
been
that's why that's why I got the veteran plates.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's what I'm doing next. My next whip, bro. I gotta have a place, bro. I gotta have a place.
man, I
I
had the
gotta
plates for
have a
years.
place.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
plates
but
take you a long way.
yeah. Well, we're gonna close this show out, man.
Yep,
And
yep,
again,
yep.
thank you. Much respect, much love, man.
Yep,
If you know
definitely.
a vet, reach out to me. We'll have them on the show. Again, big shout out to Timmy Cobbs and Timmy Cobb Fitness for the flyers. Big shout out to Orlando Owens and Project Move the Needle. They support us a lot. Big shout out to my clothing line, Versatile Clothing Line. Drop coming here near in February. Awaken the Souls podcast, man. And you'll be hearing a lot more from me in the different realms that I work in. We got an educators podcast that we starting up that we'll talk everything education worldwide. And we're gonna have a I'm just saying podcast where we talk spiritual talk and we talk about the Bible and things of that nature, man. We supposed to be out here, man. We supposed to be making moves. Hopefully, Eric can jump on and be one of my co-hosts on one of these shows, man. I'm looking forward to working with him more. And
Definitely.
next week, Sunday, 7 o'clock, we have Matt Turning's story. He's an Army veteran from Upper Peninsula, Michigan. One of my close friends. I met him while I was in the Toma VA. He has an interesting story. He served combat over in Iraq and Afghanistan. He saw some things, man. I guarantee you're going to love his story. So look forward to seeing us again. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Reach out to us if you know a veteran that you would like us to interview. Even if you look out, if you know Eric and you know Eric, reach out to him. He can get in contact with me. We just wish to do big things with this veteran realm, man. Much love and respect. Thank you for all that joined in, tuned in on any surface platform. We will be going on to other platforms moving forward, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We just have all those pages set up. But again, much love and respect. Thank you, Eric. Your soul has been awakened. This is Dr. Reg Houghton. I'm out.
Sure.
Peace.